so many of you joining this class, and it's already, we're getting closer to the holiday season. I don't know if everybody's celebrating, but the spirit of holidays is all around us, and that's what I want to dedicate this class to, the spirit. And we already had yesterday, we had a parade for Christmas in our little city, and they did the tree lights on, switched on the tree lights, and there was a fireworks also. So it was a good start, beginning of the celebration. Everywhere on the streets we have lights and decorations, so I hope you're enjoying this too. And let me switch the camera, and we are gonna start. Because we have a few new people, I am going to show a couple of things for beginners first. So what you need to know to start with Neurographica is that we are using markers. You can use thinner liners or a little bit thicker Sharpies, or even gel pens. But if you're a beginner, use something a little bit thicker for the lines. And throughout the drawing, you're going to use just one color for all the lines. And we're going to be coloring with color pencils. So if you have softer pencils, it will be better. If you have some noises going on around you, you can mute yourself and then unmute if you have any questions, so that recording is more quieter. So pencils, it's better if they're softer pencils, but you can also color with markers if you have markers, or highlighters are also possible to color. We're not going to be using watercolors or any colors. And there are two things that are important for Neurographica. First one, it's called Neurolines. So the lines in Neurographica are very special, and they are not straight lines. They are not just wavy lines. They are lines that do not repeat themselves. It's like there's impression she went in, oh, I forgot what it says. So unpredictable. They are very unpredictable, and they are, maybe if you imagine like drawing outlines of the clouds, or roots, or maybe rivers. So they're not natural, organic lines, and they do not repeat themselves. And whenever they cross, whenever there is a crossing, we do thing that is called rounding. I'm gonna exaggerate right now. So we do like a little arch, and we fill inside, and we do it on all four corners. Maybe let me make it closer so you can see it. So on all four corners, we do these little arches and create like a nexus connection between the lines. And this is called rounding. When we start doing rounding, that's what you will be doing. When I say rounding, I hope everybody is already familiar with it, but we are driving, we want it to be very smooth. So all the lines, not to have anything sticking out of them anywhere. We want it to be kind of smoothed out and connected, creating connections that are smooth. That's what Neurographica is. So nothing to be edgy or spiky or bumpy. Any questions so far? No? Okay, then we're gonna start. Let me just move the camera. Okay, and let's start. I'm gonna get another paper. So today I want us to draw Christmas, how do you say, what is not the thing that the round thing that you put on the doors for Christmas. Christmas, how do you say it? What is it?
The wreath. The
Wreath.
Christmas wreath.
Yes, exactly, the Christmas wreath. And if you have favorite green colors, you can draw with green colors. If you don't have green colors markers, you can use black as always. And it doesn't matter. It's gonna be all okay, whatever you choose. But just keep the same, when you start with the green, keep the green all over. You can start with blue or any other color. Just keep the same color for the entire drawing. So I have this green marker that I want to do. And first, let's think about, because I want to also, with Neurographica, we always connect. We draw not just for the sake of the drawing, but we have specific topic. We choose specific topics that we work on. And today I want to choose for all of us a topic of what are you grateful for that happened to you in this past year. And you can mark this topic, write it on the back side of the drawing. So gratitude for the past year. For 2023. And you can write a list of things just to get you started, to activate it. But instead of that, we were going to do activation just with lines. So very slowly, start from left to right, adding Neurolines. No, first, okay, so first let's mark the read circle. And don't worry, there is nothing wrong in Neurographica. There is nothing you can do wrong. I want you to remember and say it out loud for yourself. There is nothing I can do wrong in Neurographica, right? Got it there? So if you at some point feel that you're doing something wrong, this is just a sign of resistance that is coming through for you on this topic. So something is not, you are supposed to process, and it's an opportunity to get to the next level. So welcome any resistance, and let's start. So we're gonna draw a bigger circle, the outline of the reed. Don't try to make it perfect. Just have a circle. And do you see it, or should I get a thicker marker? Do you see it well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So this will be the outline. And then let's draw another circle in the middle to have the central part. And it doesn't matter if it's not even, it's completely okay. And then, so with those two circles, we'll start adding the lines. So very slowly, especially if you are new to this, don't rush. Try to really consciously draw those lines. And if I'm drawing too fast, just keep your own pace. Don't don't try to catch up with me or with anybody else. Whatever you're drawing on your drawing is a mirror for your inner state. Can you copy your inner state from somebody else? No, right?
I just have a question. What the meaning of these two circles?
Okay, so in America, they have like those little things made of branches of the Christmas trees with flowers and with toys, and it's called reed. And this is what we are drawing. So this is the outer circle for this reed and the inner circle for this reed.
Thank you.
And each line will be a representation for something that you're grateful for in this past year. So as you draw a line, try to remember what are you grateful for? And you can start with something very small. Let's start with this morning. Have you had a coffee? Did you enjoy your cup of coffee this morning? Are you grateful to be able to have a cup of coffee? Maybe tea, maybe a smoothie, green smoothie. How many of you are drinking green smoothies in the morning? None of you? Okay. Maybe one. Okay, we have one. So start with something that you are grateful for. Maybe small thing, maybe bigger thing. Maybe you can start right away. If you remember bigger things, you don't need to start with the small things. But if you get stuck at some point and you cannot remember what happened to you this year that you're grateful for, then get to the smaller things. Get to the feeling the sunshine on your skin, or being able to hold the marker with your hands. And as you draw each line, pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Is there something itching on your face, on your neck, on your scalp? Or maybe your legs are uncomfortable and you want to move them. Or maybe you want to wiggle on the chair, or your shoulders are tense. There is no judgment, just notice, and also notice the emotions. As you draw the lines and as you notice the body sensations, also notice these emotions that are coming for you. And you are welcome to share anything you're grateful for this year, so that maybe as we are in a group together, somebody will hear it and will go, oh yes, me too, I completely forgot this. And it will be very fun. Yes, go ahead.
I'm grateful for learning to love myself this year.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big one. Very good. And how do you feel when you're saying it now?
I feel amazing. I didn't think that I would ever be able to feel that.
Great.
So it's beautiful.
In your body now, can you scan your body and see, notice anything that you feel in your body that is different than like 3 minutes ago? Or maybe just something that you're noticing in your body. Maybe it's the same, but you're just noticing it now. And we are not trained to pay attention to our body. So it may be difficult to notice what we feel, but as you do Neurographica, you will get better at it. We integrate the drawing with the awareness about our body, because that's where the information is coming from our body-mind system, and it's all one. Okay, and Hina says, I feel uneasy in my heart. Yes, okay, just stay with it, and no judgment, just notice it, welcome this uneasy, because this is where the transformation will be happening in your heart. And it's only coming up for you so you can work with it and transform it. Okay, so as we did some lines, and the more lines you have, the better the transformation is. Remember, you can label those lines. We write and label in Neurographica. You can label what are you grateful for each line that you drew. And as you did this, if there is something really big, you can even add a circle, like starting to love yourself. It's a huge thing. And I want to add a circle for this because I'm in a process of getting more love to myself. So as I drew this circle, there's going to be around the reed, we will draw some like spheres, like a sphere toys to decorate, and we will add some flowers as well. But let's those ornaments be really mindful so we can label them. So this is love to myself. And what else? What else do you want to acknowledge with a circle today that is really big this year? That is not just a simple line, but you want to introduce it as something bigger to you. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for an amazing meditation retreat that I went. And so and the knowledge that I got there. So this will be another circle. You can add smaller circle. They don't have to be the same size. So maybe another circle that is smaller can be added for what else? For amazing friendships. This year I met with Vicky for the first time and Vonette for the first time. So this is friendships. Friends. What else? For the amazing students that I got. Julie, one of them. Marie, there's so many great students that I got, and some of them are longer than this year. Not just in this year, but from longer. And as you add those circles, let's think also about what have you done for those things to appear in your life. In the Buddhist tradition, they say that you have planted some seeds before in the past so that these things appear in your life. And it's usually the same thing that you receive, you have given or you have done to other people. So for me to love myself this year, I'm sorry for the noise, I must have shared love with somebody else, with some other people. And I'm remembering now the people that I was sharing my love and taking care of. So let's do now a flower. In a flower, we'll do these red flowers that are like stars, and you can do like leaves like this, couple of leaves, the center, and then couple of leaves that are like this. And so this flower for me represents me taking care of people or acting with love toward other people. And that's what is the source for the love toward myself. Can you think of something that you have done in the past specifically to get you to this, to what you're having right now? And this is the same with friends. I was a good friend to other people. I helped them, I talked to them, I went out with them, kept the relationship going. So this is why I'm having good friends right now. The students, good students, I'm a good student. So for the students, I'm gonna draw another flower here. So I'm a good student. And I love to study. I love to transform myself and to learn new things always. Always trying to improve myself. So this is the reason why I have good students. I attract good students because that's what I have done in the past. And the same goes for having the meditation retreat. I've been meditating and also being a good student. And so if you want, if you have more things that you have done, you can add more flowers on the reed, on your reed. And we can start, if you have several of them already, we can start to round. So rounding, we'll do, remember I told you that we need to go over the corners, but as we go over the corners, I'm gonna also go over the lines and make them vibrating. Add some Neurolines over the straight lines that I have and create this vibrational field.
I'm so grateful right now for like me not stressing out about how I'm drawing these flowers. Like a year ago, before I started Neurographica, I would be all like, oh my gosh, that petal isn't right, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm literally drawing in pen right now, not sketching out in pencil. How cool is that?
Yes, cool. Definitely put this as something that you're grateful for. Thank you, Julie, for sharing. And it's an amazing feeling. So how do you feel it in your body right now?
Right in my heart center. It's like a giddy feeling.
Okay, good. Feeling of freedom, of non-judgment. And it's a huge, huge thing. I'm also very aware that I have had a lot of judgment. I still do. I still judge a lot. But every time now I'm becoming more and more aware of it. And the freedom of not having this judgment, like Julie, your voice like showed it exactly, the freedom and the joy of being able to just do those lines and not to try hard, get it easy and enjoy this drawing, enjoy the life you have, enjoy every moment of it. We are taught to be always trying to be perfect, always try to achieve. There's so much pressure since school years, maybe even before school years. Some kids are being pressed to be that or this. And then at school, you need to get good grades, to study something that you don't even like. And that's,
Yes, when I was a little girl, they always took my black crayon away from me. Like, I really loved to feel the wax coming off of the crayon onto the paper, right? It was very tactile for me. And they were like, why do you like black so much? And all I cared about was that it showed up a lot on the paper.
yeah.
They're making all these psychological judgments about my love for the color black. And I just loved how the wax felt coming off the crayon onto the paper.
Exactly, and that's what made your soul feel good, made the whole you feel good, that you're living the life. This is exactly the emotion and state that we all need to be living for. Imagine that you're living all your life in the state of little girl, feeling the tactile pleasure of drawing with black crayons. And if you have lived the entire life like this, how many? 30, 40 years?
51 years.
51 years, yes. And how different it would be, right? If you can do it for the next, okay, Julie, for the next 51 years, you're just gonna live like that, okay?
Right on.
And make it, how about you make it even stronger, 10 times stronger? What will it be like? So amplify it and make every single moment count. Be happy from everything you do. You're maybe brushing your teeth or putting your shoes on or your coat, and be just happy as happy little girl playing with crayons. Life is amazing. And we every day we get prana. Every human being receives this wonderful energy from nowhere, from the universe. And we can use it to sustain our lives and sustain what we want to do, what we want to be. Instead, what do? We use it to be somebody or to do something that we don't want to do. We use it to live with people or meet with people we don't even like. Why? Because we think this is what we're supposed to be doing. Nobody has told us otherwise. So we use this prana, this energy, on something that we don't like, and it gets wasted away. We start having disease and problems.
I love that you talked about that, because just recently my higher self has been really talking to me about how I leak vital energy, and that is one of the ways, doing things that we really don't want to do because we think we're expected to, or there's some obligation. It just leaks vital energy.
Yes, yes. And the energy is leaking because we are not true to ourselves. And our higher self has a purpose for us. Why we are here. What do we need to do? And the only way we get this information is not from logical brain. We get this information from the intuition, from our body, telling us, giving us signals what to do, what not to do. But all our lives, we are taught to use our logical brain to make decisions. Today, a friend of mine told me that now kids in 7th grade, in middle school, before they reach high school, they are made to choose their majors for, and then study only this in high school. And how can they choose it? They don't even know who they are.
Right? That feels really itchy. That makes me itchy just to hear that.
Yes. So I'm not against for them to learn different options, to be exposed. And this is the time to experiment, but not to lock yourself. Very little percentage of kids already know. They need to be, I think, a little bit older to really get this part of their brain developed and to be able to think about their purpose and not just about themselves. In this age, they're still in the very ego-centered state without being able to see the whole picture and understand where they need to be going. As you round and do this rounding, do this activation, you are welcome to add more elements. So if you feel like you need to add some decorative things, in Neurographica, we don't usually do it, but if you want to add something today, because it's a very festive drawing, to make it pleasant and nice, play with it and do what you feel like. Allow your little child, little girl, to add, maybe add a bow or add a more circles, more decorative ornaments. If you had something from your childhood, maybe in your childhood there was a toy, Christmas toy that you loved, you can draw it. If this is what you want to do. Today, everything is allowed. Just enjoy and feel good about it. Allow yourself to enjoy every stroke, every rounding, every moment. And is anybody done with the rounding already? Can you type 1? in the chat if somebody has finished. How are you doing? Everybody else, how are you doing? Were you able to find things? Yes, go ahead.
You know me, I'll be rounding right up to the end.
Good. Yes, you're doing great. Anybody else? Were you able to find things you're grateful for? Does anybody have resistance still?
I think I have a long list of what I'm grateful for.
Good.
So I've ended up with too many intersections to round.
No, no, there's not too many. And you take it slowly and round everything you need. This is not a catharsis exercise, so this is with this drawing you can prolong it and finish it even tomorrow if you don't have time today. So
I think my
don't.
biggest gratefulness that I am for, which is, I think the theme is, I got laid off this year from my job, but we get paid severance so that till we find a new job, the expenses are covered. I think that's my biggest gratefulness, to be able to afford a life even while I'm not working.
Right. Yes, enjoy this. And when you did you draw a line about this?
Yeah,
This-
yeah.
How do you feel in your body? Did you notice anything in your body?
Actually, I don't know why, but my wrist is hurting while I'm rounding. And I don't know if that's resistance, if it's, I don't know, but I feel good about the gratitude, but I'm also, I think, feeling anxious about everything.
Yes. So this is about you moving forward, and there is some things that probably as a new change, it's a big change for you, and there is some fear about what to do next, the next step, and how to do it.
Yeah.
And
Because I worked there for 9 years and I moved to the US from a different country with this job. So my identity of being in the country, my sense of security, everything came from this job. So yeah,
yeah,
there is a huge fear.
So
yeah.
Nat, can I help out a little bit?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yes.
So pain in the wrist, particularly tendonitis, the particularly right in here, tendonitis can be the back of the wrist as well, is our inability to let go. So that was your identity, but it's no longer your identity, but can you let it go?
Yeah. And I've never had this pain, I'm a righty. So as I'm rounding, this is like, so I don't know why it's getting very painful here.
You can do it, and it's just there to show you what you need to work on.
Yeah, but
So
makes sense what you said,
Bonnet.
Bonnet.
Mhm.
So one of the things that you can do is you can do a EFT technique, the tapping
Yeah.
technique,
Yeah.
and just say, I release, I release, I release, whatever it is, whether it was the job, whether it was the image, whatever really comes up as the thing that that you're most attached to. Sometimes I experienced this with an energy healer many years ago, and she had me repeat, I'm not letting go, I'm not letting go. And I mean, within just the time that she was working with me on it, it released and I didn't have that pain anymore. I will also relate that I've also done a drawing about pain, particularly in my knee. And after finishing the drawing, that pain was gone as well. So maybe your release is through doing a drawing now that you've talked about it. Doing a drawing about it may be helpful as well.
Yeah, this is making sense. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Bonnet. Exactly.
I'm having resistance too, in the form of like, I have things that I'm grateful for, but what keeps coming up is all the things that were difficult or hard or painful or disappointing of the year.
Okay. And are you on a process of rounding right now?
Yeah, I've basically finished, and I have a lot of lines.
Okay. And can you also, while you're rounding, can you find places to add circles? And specifically, when you add those circles, so how do we add circles? Find an arch that you already have on your drawing and use it to complete it with a circle. And for example, here is an arch, and I just complete it with a circle. And as you do this, think of that there is a message for you from all the things that have happened that you are struggling with, that you feel that it's not fair or it is being hard. Ask the universe to show you what is the message, because nothing in our life just comes all out of nothing. And there is, once we see the message, we are able to process it. Everything is there for us to show us where we need to go, or where we need to make some corrections, or which direction we need to go. So it's all beneficial. It's all to help. Nothing is there to hurt us. It's all there to help us. But as you ask the universe, just pause this question to receive guidance, to receive more understanding, and add as many circles as you can find on your drawing. And the guidance will come. The information will come to you to show you the next step, to show you the direction, to show you, maybe you have experienced this to be able to show others how to overcome it later. Maybe there is another reason. And also think about in the past where you were interacting with people, and maybe what is the emotion that you're feeling when you have this resistance?
Like sad, heavy, depression.
So in the past, maybe you can remember, it's not necessary that you will remember, but something that when you interacted with other people, out of this interaction, they felt sad, depressed, something similar to what you are experiencing right now. They ended up feeling after the interaction with you, whether it was just words or thoughts or maybe actions, and then just notice it. And we usually do things without being aware of, and we always want to help people, and sometimes it's not what happens. Even with my classes, I try to help people, but sometimes there are people who are not satisfied and they're blaming me for this. So as you remember, if you can remember things, try to also think about what you can do to somebody who is depressed. Can you help somebody who is depressed right now to feel better, to feel more not alone, to feel supported. And this, yeah.
Can I ask whoever it is that's speaking, what is your sadness about?
I don't really want to get into that in this class.
So is it about regret? Is it about grief? Is it
No,
about,
it's not regret.
okay. So when you have sadness, it's about something that's not in this moment, right? It's something that's past. And when we can acknowledge that in this moment, we are no longer in that moment, that
No,
gives,
that's not really true to how I'm experiencing it, but you know, I
okay.
appreciate your effort to offer a suggestion, but that's not what the experience is about right now. It's not just in the past, it's current situation as well.
Okay.
I'm experienced also some kind of resistance. My fingers just get tingling and numb, which I don't know, makes my heart really pounding.
Okay, so you're saying that your fingers are tingling and numb and your heart is pounding, and this will relate to
Pounding.
yes, so our hands are extension of our heart, and whatever the sadness or whatever the negative emotions are being locked in your heart from the past, they are ready to be let go, and they like what you can use Neurographica or tapping or other modalities to just let go of the emotions. First, try to name the emotion. Try to name what you're feeling, and is it sadness, grief? If you can name it, you can easier let it go.
It's like sadness that comes along with anxiety and fear of making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And preparing to express my resistance, it's when the heart really started pounding. Because I was grateful for the words and expression in one circle, and then everything just started to reveal right now, like
Yeah.
my entire body is like activated.
Very good. So don't please don't be afraid. It's you just found the real door that can give you access to releasing whatever is stuck, whatever energy is stuck there. So ask keep on drawing circles, and with each circles just tell yourself to let go. Or if you know the tapping, you can use tapping and just ask to let go, release.
Yeah.
And if you can cry or yawn or any other burps, those are signs of releasing. Just stay with it, stay with rounding, stay with the drawing, and maybe see if you want to, we will be adding colors, but see how you do with the colors. Okay.
So adding a lot of circles has really helped all of that, like sadness, depression. Like I added a bunch, like maybe, I don't know, 6, 8 more circles, and that really helped. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I'm very happy. Thank you so much for sharing it. And thank you to everybody who is sharing it. Okay, and anybody else? How are you? How is everybody doing? Vicky, how are you?
Doing great. I just finished my rounding.
Okay.
I have a lot to be grateful for, and it was extremely easy for me to recognize that and draw lots and lots and lots of lines.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so happy. Okay, very good. And now we're gonna start. If you're done rounding, I invite you to start coloring. But if you are not done rounding, you can keep rounding and color later. Or you can just leave the rounding for some time and then come back later to round. As you color, you may find things that you haven't round yet. So it's okay to go back and forward between coloring and rounding. There is nothing wrong with going back and forward. So I'm gonna choose red to add to those flowers, but you see, look, kind of decide for yourself. Red is an emotional color. It's about passion. It's about fire. It's about, it can bring some anger. That's what I'm trying to say. And you may want to use something different. Just see how it goes for you. And there is, again, whatever you choose, there is nothing wrong. You can make your flowers blue or green or yellow. Everything is fine. And you can even do many colors, not just one color flowers. So you can make each petal different colors. And make it like a bright world. Or you can choose to just do it all black if that's what you want. There is nothing wrong if you have resistance to colors. If you are struggling to choose what colors to use, just close your eyes and pull 3 colors randomly, just to and trust that this is what you need. Colors are gonna be healing, continue to heal your situation, your state, your topic. And as you color, try to also notice how you react to the colors in your body. Don't be afraid if there is resistance. Colors represent emotions, so this is another layer in Neurographica that we go to heal to emotional states. And if you have a lot of suppressed emotions, you may start to cry or feel some resistance. But usually what happens with color, it's a very positive, very creative state, and you feel like a child in a candy store. So maybe choose pink for your flowers. It's a gentle color, healing color for any wounded parts that you may have. Or maybe you want to choose orange, or a combination. So let me know, what colors do you choose for your flowers?
I'm doing scarlet right now, so definitely red.
Okay, good. And how do you feel with the
Great.
red? Great.
Fantastic. I feel lately that I have been quite rooted and connected, and I've been drawing a lot about that and doing a lot of work with that. So yeah, red feels great to use.
Fantastic. Very happy. Scarlett.
Unlike some of the drawings you've seen where I had to stomp out of the room like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, that's
There was that one time I set one on fire. Then I decided to let the wind carry it away and calmly went back in and started drawing another one though. You know, I got through it and that was the thing.
Yes. Yes, there is we don't usually set on fire Neurographica drawings, but it may happen. And
Unless
that's
you're me.
and that's
Oh
okay.
no, that gives me a great idea for like a Neurographica type of candle magic.
Well, I
Oh,
did it very ceremoniously.
Nice.
I work in that type of space anyway, so yeah,
so we made
it was good.
a new step in Neurographica after
Set it on fire.
set everything on fire. Okay.
I love
It's just Vicky's nature, though.
Yeah.
Well, I work with fire. I work with smoke, and yeah, it's just part of who I am.
Mhm.
So, you know, you always say, do what feels good with this art. Well, that day it felt good to set that shit on fire.
it.
Yes, always that's what we are learning, is to listen to your intuition, even if everybody else says that's not the right thing to do. That's what you want to do. And it releases a lot of energy when you do what feels right to you, because your brain, your emotions, and your actions are aligned. If they are not aligned, you will be spending energy to keep them moving in different directions. It's like having a car that is moving back and forward, or sideways, or at the same time. You cannot get anywhere. You need all the wheels to be aligned. Your thoughts, your actions, your emotions be
Hey,
aligned.
Pat, you know, a vehicle that's not that you can't control very well is a bumper car
Uh-huh.
at
Yeah.
like at the, you know, fair or whatever.
Yes.
A bumper car doesn't get you really where you want to go.
Yes, exactly. Especially if you want to have a nice ride, not bumping into things, but
Yep.
have a pleasant ride, have a nice conversation, nice chat, and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the palm leaves or flowers or the sky, and have enough energy to smile and not to feel all those blogs and negativity everywhere, because sometimes we are just affected by things that are outside of us. They are not necessarily our things, and we need to have this protection and be able to stay centered and grounded, like what Vicky is doing right now. It's very important to not to be carried by other people's emotions or circumstances. Have your own center, have your own groundedness in boundaries. There are many things that can get you out of your center and have you do the bumpy road, have you experience a bumpy road, but if you are practicing, if you have enough accumulated energy, you can stay centered, you can balance it and get back to the easy state, easy living, easy when things are happening, even if things are out of control, even something that you haven't planned happen, you still can stay centered and not get affected by it, because we cannot control everything. There is no way we can control what is happening in the world, but we still can stay calm and present and do whatever we need to be doing.
Presence, that's the trick, right? Like when something happens and I decide to feel a certain way about it, and as soon as I pull it back into the presence and like remember that, like right in this space, like if I drew a bubble around myself, that everything inside that bubble, actually everything's okay right inside that bubble, and I can feel however I want to feel. And the bubble visualization just makes me more present, like here's where I'm at and the thing is happening out there.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. I just read recently a saying that you cannot solve the problem by forcing with power or with force. I'm translating it from other language, so that I read it on. So you cannot transform the problem with force. In order for you to transform the problem, you need to increase your energetic capacity. You need to increase your energy. And then the problem will be solved by itself. What does it mean? Is that if your capacity, your energy is high, you are in this state of congruency, and then whatever happens in the outer world, it's easy to solve. You can see the connections, you can see how things are moving, and you will just easily know what to do. You will be on the right time in the right place, and you don't even have to do much. Just the right people will come to you.
That's the principles taught in the Power versus Force by David Hawkins. That's exactly what you're talking about. When you try and force things versus being in your power, using your power to elevate your vibration.
Exactly.
I think I experienced that just the other day. Would it be an example of it to, like, I have a friend who's going through like a really tough time and there's not exactly anything that I can do to help her, but I feel this desire to help her. And then I overstep my boundaries and start trying to fix everything for her. And the last time I talked to her, I actually managed to stay in my space and remember that all I needed to do was be there for her and empathize for her and let her know that, yeah, that really sucks what's happening right now. And I didn't have to fix it and it felt better. Would that be an example?
Yes, absolutely.
That's the difference between compassion and caring, as a matter of fact. When we care about something, it's actually more of a negative emotion and negative vibration, because you expect the other person to do what you want them to do about their situation. So the outcome hurts you if they don't do what you want them to do or what you think they should do. But if you come to the situation from a place of compassion, that is a positive vibration, a high vibration, and it has a much more positive effect. And if they choose not to follow your advice, then it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't bring you down as much if you're just approaching it from compassion. And maybe they come back to you again if you approach it that way as well the next time they have an issue.
I really like that. Thank you. I tend to be a bit of a fawner. It comes from my upbringing. I was trained to be a fawner by my upbringing, and just learning how to set boundaries and be more authentic and say, you know, I'd really love to help you right now, but I can't. And I'm so sorry about what's happening to you. And just it removed this whole sense of obligation. Thank you for putting it that way.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great lesson to learn in this life.
Indeed.
Yes, actually, the best thing that you can do for others is to be present for them. And this is the hardest thing to do, not to give them any suggestions what to do, not to patronize them, but just be present. And this is already very healing, being present and allowing them to experience what they need to experience, because we don't really know what the other person is going through. We can, yes, and we don't know what their soul purpose is either. They are the ones who can discover it and
That's so true.
and find this out. But if we are present and we can bring their vibrational stage energy higher, because we are like the clocks on the wall that can synchronize. If you are with higher vibration and you just are present with somebody else who is in lower vibrational state, their vibrational state will be entrained to yours, and it will get higher. So this will help them to see the situation, to observe the situations they're in, and get in touch with their intuition and hear the intuition. Whenever they're safe, they can hear the intuition. Whenever they're stressed and feel alone and negative, they cannot hear their intuition. So the best thing you can do is just be present with someone.
I really like that, because the trying to fix it for them, that really is lowering my vibration to match theirs.
Yeah. Yes, and also may not be beneficial for them because we don't know what it is for them.
Oh my God, right? And the last thing I want to do is stop her from learning a lesson or, you know, leveling up or something.
No.
So Vonette posted something earlier today on one of our groups, or maybe sent it to me privately, but basically Einstein said you cannot solve a problem from the same level in which the problem was created. So you absolutely have to come from another level.
Yeah, I love this quote.
It's going to be lifting someone else up rather than pulling them down.
I love this quote from Einstein.
And it feels better too, right? Like not managing my husband, like telling him to take his pills, or, you know, oh, you're going to be tired tomorrow if you don't get up. It lifts this whole burdensome obligation feeling. And when I don't have to manage him, then suddenly if I want to do something nice for him, it's not because I'm trying to manage him, it's just because I wanted to be loving to him.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So I'm struggling a little bit about this conversation. I am in agreement in general. Unfortunately, my mom is going through dementia, and some of the decisions that she is making, I'm trying to support her, but I can see lawsuits coming down the line, and then, you know, poop can hit the fan. So I'm in this gray area where I try to kindly suggest, because if she goes along with the way she's doing things, lawyers are going to have to get involved, and which is going to stress her out even more. Then she's going to need my help. And I'm trying to kind of cut off stop going down this downward spiral while still keeping her sense of being happy and, you know, going through this change in her life. But I find it is so draining me. And so I've gotten some support, and another reason why I'm joining all these neurographic classes, because it does help.
That is
But
just an incredibly difficult situation. I can see how there's a fine line, right? Like you can see there needs to be help. Wow, I'm sorry you're having to go through that.
It's like, you know, I don't want to enable her. And I kind of, there's times when I said, look, you know, that saying, I don't say it to her, but hey, you made your bed, you sleep in it. But now she's in this different space of her mind, and she's extremely argumentative, which I think, you know, is part of just having dementia. But she was difficult even before. She's been difficult all of her life. That's, you know, and not just for me. I don't say that just for me. There's a lot of people that just don't want to work with her. So anyway, but yeah, I just keep on doing what I can. If I need to take naps, then I take naps. If I need to color more, I color more, just to try to keep my energy as best. And I totally agree with that. I think it was Albert Einstein's quote. Yeah, I can't solve anything with the mindset that created the problem. I think I said that wrong, but anyway, I know what I meant. I hope you guys did too.
Yeah, no, that hits home for sure.
Yeah, that was the right way, but you definitely need to take care for yourself first. And there are situations where, especially if the lawsuit is involved, you do whatever is gonna be safer for you and for your mom. And this is the priority, because you don't want to be in a situation where you deal with law enforcement. It's not what it is about. So there are like pyramid of Maslow. First layer is safety, security, food, and then you go to the next layer where you take care of other things. So first things first. And we are talking about philosophical things that are also truth. But if you don't have basic needs met, you cannot even think about them, because your whole all of your energy is going to be focused on those things, and you will not be able to sustain yourself. So
yeah, there's kind of an inevitability about it, right? Like, because she's your mom, you're in the boat with her, and if she sets the boat on fire, you both sink, right? So there's a little bit of staving off stress for you by avoiding things.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound elitist or superior, but I'm like, Mom, you're this is contract law. You can't, you got to do what's in the contract or agree, blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, I'm being taken advantage of. I'm going to sue them and blah, 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 blah. And they're not, it's just, so unfortunately, I have been eating a lot more sugar lately, which I have noticed. And then I joined the neuro art class. And Natalia, you're a great teacher, or neuro artist guide on these compositions and everything. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes. always remember what they say on the airplanes.
Yeah, put the oxygen mask on you first.
In order for you to be able to help others, your children and people around you, you need to have this oxygen mask on you first.
Another thing I like from the 12-step philosophy is never do for someone else what they could do and should do for themselves. But as you watch dementia progress, it's natural that you'll have to take over what they can no longer do for themselves. And I think that helps too, to find that kind of balance based on their capability.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it's a gray, we're in the gray area right now where she is still holding on to stuff so tightly. And there's just some people with or without dementia that will do this. They're just so stubborn. They just don't even want to look at different possibilities. So
Absolutely, especially the difficult ones.
yeah, it's like, it's, you know, my way or the highway, or this is how it's always been done, and da 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 da. You know, I've met some people like that in my life too, and I'm like, well, can't even just think about other ways, and that goes for me too. So it's a learning experience for myself in learning different viewpoints.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning this. This is very good to look at yourself. Whatever you see in the others, it's like a mirror. Whatever you see in your drawing, it's like a mirror. So it is showing us what we need to pay attention to. And thank you for acknowledging this. And it's not easy to see sometimes because it may be hurtful and painful, but the reality around us is just a mirror for us. And the more we take care of this reality to be better, sometimes we struggle with it, but we do what we can. And that's why we having groups of support, having those classes. That's why I'm offering these classes, because it's always easier and more beneficial whenever you are in a group to transform, to shift the energy. So my intention is for this to be helpful. And thank you for everybody who is sharing and who is listening and who is drawing with us to help shift this situation for so many people into a positive one, so we can start the new year with something better, something hopeful, and in a higher state. So,
Natalia,
yes.
Are you or Neurographic Academy going to be offering like a free class right before year end, like the last week of December, as kind of set your goals for 2024, or a paid class or whatever? Is that going to be possibly offered?
Yes, so we will start, we will have this nice class that we do every year where we do a vision board. We cut a lot of pictures from magazines, and we set our intentions. And then draw Neurographica over them. And it's very, very powerful how it works. So we definitely are gonna do it, and and we already have it in recording from last year's. So you can definitely, if you wanna do it in recording, or if you wanna join us live, we will do it. Start clipping magazines. Every picture that you like, something that attracts your attention, something that you want to have in your life more, you can do You can find picture on the internet and just print it out and color it or make it colorful printout. You have colored printer. So let me show you what we did. Okay. So this is
What an
one.
interesting idea. I've never done a vision board that had neurographic lines on it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is one of them that we did. And I just used metallic markers on top. And but you can use any markers. So it was fun.
If you have the same goals, can you, and you've already done a vision board for the past.
Yeah, you can do it again. It's always working.
Can we just bring some of the old?
Yeah, you can do with the old ones, of course. Okay, so this is my read, and I'm gonna keep working on it to add some more colors. And if you want to share with yours, I would be interested to see how are yours. Maybe we can do so for everybody can show theirs. How far are you in the process?